Alright folks, we are back. Hopefully you can tell we've refined our little wrinkled frilly shoulder pad thing. I don't know what it's called, and I'm probably not going to look it up because it's not that important what the name of it is. But we refined it. We did the same thing on the flared part of the wrists and the flared part of our ankles. We've refined our big old clown shoes as much as we could. We gave everything a light sanding, and what we're going to do now is we're going to try and put in the details of the clothing, the folds or creases or what have you in the clothing, to try and give it a more realistic look once we paint it. And this doesn't always go over very well. Sometimes it works really good, like in the case of that Dobby, the house elf wood carving, turned out spectacular. And then in other cases, like Sam, I did two different versions of him. One version turned out really good, the other was just mediocre. So I'm going to just run you through how I do it, and then we'll see how it turns out. Let's start here in the torso. Alright, what we want to do is find your line. And I've used pencil this time, guys. And you're just going to make your first cut, and it's slightly angled, not very much, and which is going to be acting like your stop cut. Then you're going to come behind it, and you're going to make another shallow cut, and you're going to have it pop out like that. And then any of your right angle type edges, those hard line edges, you're just going to kind of knock those off real quick. And we've made a little indentation there by accident. Use sandpaper to get that one off. But that's the gist of it. Do it cut like this. Come from the other side. Come up against it. And then when you paint it, well, we're going to sand it down a little, obviously. But then when you paint it, you can add some shadows in. So if his main color is white, then you're going to want to add some shadowing with like a gray or something like that. Or sometimes I use black because it stands out so well. But if you're using a white base coat, you certainly don't want to use black as your shadowing, because it's just going to show through something awful. But we're just going to go ahead and continue doing that. So cut there, cut there, that little notch that comes out, knock off any distinct line. You remember, excuse me, his costume's pretty baggy, so you're gonna have, if you look at the clothes you're wearing right now, even if they're not baggy, they're gonna have creases and folds and just natural little contours to them. Just the way the clothes sits on, I guess, the human body. I don't know. Just all of them are that way unless you're wearing something super snug. But I'm happy how quick this carving's coming together, and I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. If I point out here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up well, we detailed the hands fairly quick. Those pin marks will go away once we paint. But we did the hands and flared out. Well, we already flared out the wrist ankles, but we added the rippling to it as well. Because I don't remember, and I didn't bother looking up, whether they were wavy like that or not. But I just thought it would add a little extra detail, so I went ahead and did it. That's one thing with one carving. I mean, when I'm doing a character from a movie or TV show or what have you, I do try and get it as 100% accurate as I can. But in instances like that, when I think something would genuinely look better a certain way, I take some liberties here and there. And I would say, guys, we're about 75% through with this particular carving. I mean, he'll be ready for paint after we sand this little details we're doing of the folds and wrinkles in the clothes. He'll be ready for paint after this. But we're gonna attempt to add some actual fabric to him, and that's what's gonna take a little bit longer to do, because I don't know if that's actually gonna work or not. But this one came together pretty nice, pretty fast, pretty quick. And I know I got a late start on the Halloween Spooktacular. I really wanted to start at the beginning of the month, but between another project I was working on and everything else, we got a really late start. So I'm gonna try and make up for that by knocking these out as quick as possible, and also documenting as much as possible in the same process, which that ought to prove fairly difficult, trying to do these quickly and video them at the same time. That's what takes a lot of time. I try and make sure I get good camera angles for you guys and keep the videos within that 10-15 minute window, and then I'll stop and I might do 2 videos, and then I'll stop and check to make sure all the angles are good on them, because you can't really do any reshoots or anything, but you don't want to post a clip that's just not watchable. So that's what takes up the most time, I think, is the video process. I can see why directors and stuff love that playback feature right there on the set. You can actually see what you just recorded right there, right after you recorded it. Not that I'm comparing myself to a director. I'm just saying there's comparisons to the benefit of being able to look at what you recorded, as opposed to having to wait. And, this particular carving, Twisty here, I've been dying to do since I first saw the show. And then when I did my first Halloween Spooktacular last year, I documented everything by taking pictures, but I didn't decide to try to do anything YouTube. Friends and my nieces and everything, they're the ones who kind of nudged me into putting them on YouTube. Maybe people would think they were neat. Plus, I also wanted to see if there was any kind of interest that people might want to buy some. So I figured YouTube would be a good place to showcase. If there's interest, then I could find a website like Etsy or something and sell them there, which I've thought about, but my goodness, if you've seen the prices people want to charge for some handcrafted goods, it's a little steep. And mind you, I mean, there's a lot of work and time and effort and thought that goes into these. It's a little hard to give them up for any price, but you want to be fair. You don't want to charge somebody something freaking ridiculous. And also, I mean, there's just got to be a market out there for it. I mean, we're in a day and age where, I mean, they can get an action figure of Twisty the Clown that is like an exact detail replica of the actual character from the show. So if somebody has a choice of that and wood carving, I mean, obviously they're going to take the other one. What's that dog barking at? A whole lot of nothing. Every time, people. But I think we're getting close to our limit anyway, so we're gonna wrap it up. You get the gist of it. I know it's a little hard to see without painting, But once you paint it, you'll see it a lot better. And we'll be back with our next clip.